Hi, family. How are you doing? Tap in here. Come in here. Get in here. I know. Get into my pretty candle. I was missing having a candle over here, you guys. If you are here for the first time, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. How are we going to vibe in the background? My music stopped. Hold on, guys. I hope it doesn't like come on super loud. Hold on. Oh, that's nice. I like it. So how are you doing? How are you feeling? Um, Hold on, guys. So I thought we would tap in and get a message. You guys know, when was it exact? Is today? Between today and yesterday, you guys. I know if you're out there in the astrology community, I know you probably have heard about the alignment going on between Venus and Chiron energy and Aries. Of course, we are in Aries season. Okay, so we have all of this 25-degree point energy. Again, Venus and Aries. Okay, Chiron has been doing work in Aries for quite some time. And then we have Eris, which is an asteroid body, but is associated with the goddess of discord. So it's like it's interesting because you know what, you guys, it feels like such a catalyst. But it's almost, okay, the way, thank you. Okay, I was getting like this visual download of like this big, I don't know if it's an asteroid body, but it was like a hitting a big body of water. Or it kind of makes me think of like, I don't know, a foreign body of like, not an asteroid, maybe a meteorite, maybe is what I'm trying to think of, and it impacts and it leaves the big space. But it almost makes me think of like, when I think about this catalyst energy, and I think about Aries energy and everything, it's almost like how something, boom, catalyst effect into the water, right? And it would have almost this vacuum upward pull effect. Bringing things to the surface is the type of energy that I'm getting. Because I don't know about you guys. Now, listen, we're going to get more into the message, but I actually remembered my handy dandy wand of sorts. So let's smudge. We've been enjoying our frankincense hydrosol while we smudge. Let's get into and see what kind of messages want to come through. Thank you for being here. You guys know I'm going to keep telling you about my school teaching platform. The best landing page, if you're curious about learning what I do, learning what I create, learning how to book one-on-one personal work with me, is going to be my website. It's usually in the description below the video. I'm trying to get better about doing that, you guys. I used to be like, man, I'm not putting all that stuff down there. But then somebody was like, dude, just make a pre-typed like format and you just copy and paste it. If you need to change a little bit, you change it. And I was like, dang, you are so right. So I'm trying to get better. Listen, I'm trying to get better about like, here are my socials. Here is my webpage. But yeah, the webpage is the best spot because you're going to see everything on the webpage in one spot, right? Yes, I do personal one-on-one readings, both tarot and astrology. I also do readings and where like I teach you, I walk you through learning about your major personal planets, your top 3, your North Node, South Node. We do Chiron. We have lots of things there. And yeah, I love to make candles, oils, ritual tools. And recently this year, I launched a teaching platform community, and it's sabbatical style, alchemical living, but I'm teaching tarot, but we weave it all together over there as we walk through the year. I'm already into the first modules where you learn about major arcana cards. There's also additional stuff that we did for the year of the fire horse. And we talked about card associations, astrology. It's all there. It's wonderful. What I really like about the teaching community is that when you subscribe, you basically get access to everything that I've ever put up in the classroom. It's very self-led, but we also have like chit chat, coffee dates. I want to say at least once, if not more than once in each module, I do a teaching video that's very, yeah, you know what? It's just be like this over here. Y'all see it? I do a teaching video. Yeah. So it's really cool. You get so much out of it, honestly. And, I love it. It's kind of nice. Here's what people say so far is that it's really nice to be on the school, which is SKOOL. It's nice to be on that platform because it's like away from the socials. And I'm not knocking it. If you cultivate your spaces, be they wherever it's at in the online community, right? Because it's all energy at the end of the day, and it's what you set the intention to do with it. I'm very, very particular. It's very Aquarius over here, you already know. And ask your Aquarius friend. I have 4 big Aquarius placements. Yes, if you're new here, you have found your way to your local Aquarius astrologer. Okay, so thank you. If you resonate with this, click the like. It just helps circulate us to other people on the platform who resonate with the same energies, who are kind of on our frequency, right? And it's just a free way to give support. So yeah, that's my spiel. But how do you feel? Once again, I've been skedaddling. I've been whimsical. I've been on my whimsy. It's this Aries energy. I'm telling you guys, I have a Mars in Aries and a Leo. I know, right? You're like, girl, you say you got a Leo rising with all that Aquarius? Friend, I do. It's good. It's a nice balance though. But yeah, you know, I'm always hydrating. And shout out to my neurodiverges, as you will. Okay, you know, I have like a coffee, a water, but just a little bit ago when I was rotating laundry, I had a smoothie. I feel like we hydrate in all the ways, and we have like different intentions of hydration. Is anyone like that? Raise your hand. So yeah, I thought we would chill and hang out a little bit today. I'm going to be recording some video teaching. Yes. About the major arcanas as we are digging in officially into our rotation is going to go for 9 months. We're going to go through all of the major arcana in the tarot. We throw the court cards and the minors in there and in the school community. So I'm starting, to get ready to talk about major arcanas, and I wanted to pop in and check in. I was thinking too about doing another elemental messages series. So y'all forgive me, I just had that smoothie though, okay? And I'm a little sniffly. Okay, look, I'm in the southeast and the pollen is wild. Y'all already know everything is yellow. What was this reel that I saw the other day talking about? And it was all yellow. You know, I was talking about Coldplay, but it was the South with all the pollen. It's accurate. For real. Like, I like to wear black. And I do be looking dusty. So forgive the sniffles, but yeah, I need to put up a short or share some pictures. It was so beautiful. And I've really needed that. I hope maybe I would say maybe someone, you know, we all do. We all need to go outside and get aligned. We really do. So yeah, the energy that we have is we've come into Aries season. This is the first season on the zodiac wheel. You know, I'd love to do a little quick review, a little quick catch you up to speed. We were doing like a lot of sweet majorum and a lot of wintergreens, mints, these type of things in the family, which makes sense for the seasons we've been moving through. But I have been citrusy. I love a good sweet orange. I love a mandarin. So I have like my diffusing stones. I was cleaning yesterday. I was putting citrus in the mix. So I'm feeling it. I love it. But yeah, obviously sun is in Aries. But you know, it was this whole big rollout of the timelines, the rebirth of the lunar year with the fire horse, very beautiful energy with Saturn also being with us here in Aries. It's such a huge reset after 29 and a half years of moving his way through the karmic lessons, through the Dharma, through life cycling and learning and becoming mature in many different ways. But yeah, it's so now in the midst of all of this, which is really beautiful and powerful, we have this, it's like a triple conjunction basically. And we've got all this 25 degrees energy, which, you know how I'll hit you with that numerology. We love a little bit of everything over here. Okay. That's a lot of sevens. 2 plus 5 is 7. And it gives the magician, right? Here's the modern witches version of the magician. It's a beautiful, it's a magical, it's kind of a rare coming together, honestly, considering the backdrop that it's happening in, right? So again, Sun in Aries, obviously, Venus in Aries aligning with Chiron in Aries and Eris. Okay, so I want to say, you know, Chiron and Eris, they're slower moving, right? But then Venus, of course, is, I won't say fast like Mercury, but much faster as far as the cycles of how they move, right? It kind of, like I was saying, I was seeing this big, and then the splash back and the splash up. I don't know. Yeah, like drop, okay. What are you showing me? Dropping a stone in the water. And the ripple effect, okay, that's what that's what my spirit guides are showing me. And of course, if you're new here, we're always calling in our spirit team, our ancestors, our guides, both galactic and earthbound. We're always working with the Davic nature spirits of the earth. And we all have different archetypes and energies, connections, ancestors. So we honor all of that as long as it's in service of the highest and best good over here. Okay, that's what we work with. So my guides are showing me like a big stone being dropped in a water and it splashes out. Okay, I'm hearing a song, and I don't know if you've ever heard it, but it is like, take up space, sis, take up space. I can't remember all the words or really even the melody, but I'm hearing take up space. Okay. Okay, you know what? Spirit is showing me like, okay, my guides are showing me when you drop a stone, right, boom, splash, it maybe for you that could be like a trigger. I think the idea of the energy here, because remember, we still have lots of water. Jupiter is working with us in Cancer until the summer, so we can emotionally mature. We have North Node in Pisces to help us stay in alignment with our spirit and say, come on, what were we saying? Oh yeah, decisions are portals. We could be noticing triggers that kind of allow things to splash up a little bit because we want to experience that healing. I would definitely wager to say that close relationships, be they platonic, romantic, you know, over here we always teach we have lots of different emotional bonds. We even have people we get close to at a job or a career, or people I have a beautiful group of lovely people that I have collaborated and co-created with for many, many years, right? So we have lots of different types of connections. But I would definitely say that, you know, with Venus being in this alignment, you're going to see it through your relationships. I mean, obviously, because what's going to cause a bigger, I don't know, I'm seeing a splashback. I'm hearing blowback. Yeah, like a splash. You drop something in the water, psh, now it's splashed all over you. That's what happens when you're in close relationships. Venus energy too, I'm always talking about is it starts inside in the heart chakra. It starts inside about how you see yourself. Now I see that my notepad is poking up behind this chart and the little top part says man in the mirror because I keep meaning to add that song to our playlist. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Oh, no, I'm asking them to change the because Venus is very much when I look at myself in the mirror, what do I see? Because then, what is that phrase? Okay, my higher self, my spirit is saying like, what's that phrase? When they look at you, they're seeing projections from themselves. And you do the same. When you look out at the world, we talk about frequency and vibration and magnetic attraction a lot over here, because we're in a very quantum realm that's ascending so much so quickly in the age of Aquarius. We're going to understand and learn a lot of things about frequency and vibration and alignment. So what you go out with, what you see in the mirror, that's what you attract to yourself. So a lot of these, I don't know, you could call them, it is like a catalyst energy. You could call it a catalyst energy. If things can come up that were under the surface is a big thing too, right? Because we spent a lot of time deep in the water trines. I don't know, Spirit is reminding me now, and maybe this is resonant. Maybe someone put a pin note in it and come back to it. Black Moon Lilith is in Sagittarius for a good chunk of the year. And that has a similar effect, that strike a match, that... okay, I'm hearing, we're going up, da, 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 da. Obviously, we all know that song. But I'm seeing the Sagittarius Archer. But it's like Diana the Huntress, you know, like shooting her bow. I think it's this alignment upwards. I'm seeing that as well, which makes me, I can't help but think of the Temperance card. So I'm getting this at like a lot of, I'm hearing like something's been out of balance for a long time. Maybe that could be for someone, but oftentimes I encourage us, instead of pushing outward, you know, who can I cut off? Please, by all means. If you're in harmful, toxic situations, abusive in any way, you know, physical, mental, emotional, whatever, don't stay in that. That's not what I'm talking about. But what I'm saying is, a lot of times, I say this a lot, you already know, we just want to be going and cutting out. And I'll speak it like the queen of the cutoffs, okay? You know, over here, Aquarius energy, okay? It's about to be ghost for the next 5 years. But I'm saying, we could have these moments that really encourage us to go within, especially in relationships and in relationship with ourselves, right? Man in the mirror, I'm looking at the mirror. What do I see? Maybe I don't feel like I'm worthy of certain experiences, or leveling up to a different frequency of timeline that wants to unfold, right? Saturn and Aries, because I have this inward aggression, but maybe it's rooted in resentment because I have blockages around my own self-worth, or have shadow work or wound healing that I need to, because your Chiron placement, Chiron's another big one here, along with Aries, all this Aries energy, right? Chiron in Aries is really like a lot of deep-seated wounds around your own identity. Or it's this feeling of like, I'm an outsider, or I really struggle with my self-worth because X, Y, and Z happened to me in the past, and why don't I fit in here? Or who am I? You know, these are Chiron and Aries wound healing points. If you're not familiar with your Chiron placement, I'd encourage you to look that up too. All you got to know for that is the year that you're born, and there's this whole chart, and you can get into that. Working with Chiron energy in your birth chart can be excellent. It can be a great like self-reflection tool, okay? And you know, the way that we teach it in one-on-one work over here is that learning about your natal chart is a tool, right? You don't have to go putting yourself in, I'm an Aquarius and that's all there's so much in any given birth chart, and it encompasses all the energies in different ways, you know, but it's more of a healing or even a self-reflective, self-awareness tool. So dig into your Chiron placement. This would be a great time to get into that. Okay. I gotta say though, with Eris being associated with this energy of the goddess of chaos and discord, I know you're like, damn, in a Jupiterian year, or the wheel is spinning. I know. But I mean, it's the type of energy that we have to be able to work with and partner with, like the Magician, right? That's one of our cards in the year of 10. We have the Wheel, but we also have the Magician, and we have the Fool. We like 4. Listen, it's good for. Now I'm seeing a volcano, but again, something dropping, and it's good to have those chaotic moments where things come out. They need to splash out, okay? Maybe the pot is too full. I don't know. I'm hearing the phrase for someone. I don't know. I'm hearing the pot calling the kettle black. Take it as you will. Let's see. I do want to pull some cards for us, but I would say this too. Chiron in Aries. And then mind you, we still have Jupiter in Cancer. We're learning about emotional maturity, and that takes work. It takes facing grief. It takes facing uncomfortable emotions. I don't know. I want to say, Chiron is very much like the wounded healer who was always helping heal everyone. You can definitely read into that. Excuse me, guys, the pollen. Woo! It really doesn't get me like allergies, but she was thick. They was thick. It was heavy in your face today. Like you know them days, shout out if you know, and it's just like in your throat. Chiron energy, though, is it's tough. It's uncomfortable. It's great to, if you know your chart and you have your detailed specifics, I'm happy to do a reading with you. I love to do that teaching and intuitive work. But Chiron is tough. It pairs well with your North and South node when you study them together. We do that as a bundle together a lot for people that I work with. But you gotta, okay, what am I hearing? You gotta feel it to heal it. And so Chiron and Aries kind of has this, and then we think about Black Moon, Lilith being in Sag. I got a charge out there. This torch is lit the fuck up. And so what does that mean? I'm going to have to face stuff. Imagine lighting a torch up in a dark cave. Ooh, it's going to be some stuff crawling out. It's going to be some things flying off the what do you call those? Stalactites? Anyway, I'm seeing like a light up in a cave and then whoosh stuff. And now again, I'm getting that backdraft feeling. It's like a witnessing of your own pain. And then of course what we do, and this is like a balminess of Jupiter in Cancer, okay? A balmy healing salve, North Node of Pisces, aligning you with your higher self and the divine source of oneness that is. You don't have to go immediately into fixing. We can get really dogmatic with that sometimes, right? Chiron in Aries, Venus, Eris, all this Aries energy is saying, okay, what if sometimes we just let it rise up? And just let it slosh over the sides, and then we can kind of release it in a healthy way. All this Aries energy, I mean, you got to understand, there's going to be some aggression. That's going to be the undertones of fire sign energy anyway. But sometimes we need a little bit of chaos mixed with a little aggression, because then you kind of get in a place where maybe you need to speak your truth, or maybe you learn to assert yourself, which, by the way, is not the same as getting in a conflict. It's not the same as being impulsive and reactive. You hear what I'm saying? Okay, being brave, being courageous, standing up for your truth. Okay, self-assertion is very different than being super reactive, right? And then, of course, with Aries being mixed in the pot, being mixed in the jar where all this stuff is dropping in and splashing over. Hold on, guys. Now, they didn't touch a damn leaf out there. They wasn't doing nothing until I sat down to record. Let me pull this window down, because these dogs are going to be barking. My apologies, though, if you do hear them in the background. So, it's spring, y'all. Excuse me. I know they have to leaf blow, but I was just talking to a friend this morning. We were talking about how when you blow all the leaves around, there's so much growing and incubating under there that you kill a lot of these monarch butterflies and all. I love a good, healthy, environmental science nerd out conversation. I love it. Shout out to the monarch butterflies. Wow. Okay. Butterfly energy. This is the same vibe. It's so funny that I said that, right? A butterfly coming out of a cocoon, out of a chrysalis. Chrysalis energy, Spirit is saying that's important for someone. Butterflies is a synchronicity. Maybe you've been seeing those. It's been crazy how I've been seeing butterflies and cardinals. Okay, you're going to be like, girl, it's spring. Yeah, I know. But if you know how synchronicity shows up, it's been uncanny. But it's funny because we're talking about a leaf blower blowing leaves out of big piles. It's that same energy. You see that big whoosh. You're about to stir it up in here. Okay, but sometimes we need that. If this makes sense, Should you be in a job or a relationship or a living situation dynamic or in a town, in a location, whatever, being in a toxic environment with energy that thrives off of just stirring up shit to be whipping up the pot and then feeding off of it and doing this shit where it's like gaslighting and it's like da 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 da, all that. No, that's not healthy. However, sometimes life cycles, especially like this energy in Aries with Venus, with Chiron, with Eris, Saturn really wants you to be able to kind of fool's jump and get your magician wand out and get up on that timeline. You know what I'm saying? Get up there. Okay, but sometimes to get up there, what do we need? We need a catalyst. So sometimes we'll have, I could see Tower energy here, the Tower card. And you're just like, ugh, you know what I mean? Why is this pushing my button again? This came up twice last year and I thought we had worked through that already, but that's okay. We want to kind of, okay, you want to get that splash up, that blowback a little bit because you want to clear and cleanse off things. Sometimes that can be very cleansing. You know what I mean? Sometimes a little bit of a catalyst, which leads to a little bit of grief points being dug into uncomfortably, and then boom, you got to spot a little bit of aggression, maybe a little bit of confrontation, but in a healthy way. You know, maybe you have, I don't know, I'm getting this energy with Eris, right? She was kind of resentful. If you read about the mythology of it, it was like she didn't get invited to the wedding or the party or something. I'm not going to go into the whole story, but she was pissed. Okay, but again, you got to think of Black Moon, Lilith, and Sag, right? I'm pissed. I'm about to light this bitch up, okay? We don't want to be toxic and impulsive and reactionary. That's not going to help nobody, okay? Go take a walk, do a run. We need healthy physicality, good ways, going out in nature, taking long walks, doing a jog. Maybe you lift weights, whatever you do, right? Because the pots, ooh, I'm seeing it like this. The pots are just the bubbling. And they have to. We can't just keep sitting on painful emotions, sitting in a relationship that's stagnant and full of bitterness and resentment. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to bust up in that party and say, I'm about to say how I feel today, okay? As you can look out and see in the collective community, in different countries, in different groups of human collectives, right? You already see this happening. But you know what's another beautiful thing when we think about Aries energy? A higher vibrational, a higher resonant, spiritual, leveled up leader. Someone who will go out and take the charge. Someone who will speak their mind, but it is self-assertion, but it's a healthy emotional maturity. Ooh, Spirit said, Spirit said, notes in conflict resolution. You be feeling spiritual as all get out until it's time to have a conflict. And then that's when your tools really get tested. Can you keep your cool? Do you feel the need to fight just to explain yourself, to be seen or understood? How really good are you at being a listener? Hello. You're not going to be the only person, love and light. Okay, so respectfully, I always Abraham Hicks you with it over here. We love you so much. Spirit loves us so much. Our higher self loves us so much, okay? But maybe you're not as good of a listener as you think you are. That's uncomfortable. Maybe banishing, cutting off, ghosting, cutting off, banishing. And then you realize, oops, because I got to be doing some work on myself as well. With all that being said, though, it's a great time for projects that are related to like advocacy, obviously. I don't know, what do we say? A lack of justice, because I'm seeing the justice card. But it's got to be done in balance. You got to be doing your own inner work. And also, to a degree, you understanding you can't white knuckle control nothing. Sometimes karmic cycles and the way the energy just has to play out. Doesn't mean new timelines aren't birthing. Just be mindful. Again, the stone dropped in the bucket or the body of water, the whoosh, the volcano. Be mindful. Are you being impulsive? Are you being brash? Okay, is this a situation where spirit, your team, and higher self are trying to teach you emotional maturity? And make sure that you can hold your alignment and stay rooted and grounded. North node in Pisces, south node in Virgo. you're not in control of everything, and everything's not going to be perfect. And guess what? We love you so much. You're not the only one in the room. You know what I'm saying? So I think in this week for sure, as we pan out and work on into this beautiful spring equinox energy, things are going to come up. Okay, can you hold space for that? And you really asking, if there's a place, I feel like saying, if there's a place where you need closure, I mean, by all means, you have to trust your highest and best self. I'm always going to tell you over here, you are your highest teacher. You are your own guru. Your intuition is highest and best. So you know what needs closure. And you also know, again, I'm starting with a man in the mirror. At the end of the day, it's you with you in the mirror, right? So is it a you thing? I mean, you got to be real, because you would hate to be getting a lesson now so that a brand new, beautiful potentiality of Saturn and Aries, Neptune and Aries, all this rebirth. You already know we've been talking about it. But sometimes Spirit will be like, I need to make sure that you're ready. Are you a vessel that will be able to receive and long-term sustain? For example, if you don't have healthy conflict resolution and you can't be a good listener and have healthy conversations, I'm going to tell you damn sure you can't have no business. You're not going to be able to get into these beautiful co-collaborative communities or projects or these seeds that want to grow, right? It is Ostara on the beautiful wheel of the year. You don't want to choke out your seed growth because you're a terrible listener. Spirit is, okay, this I'm seeing something like this. My guides are showing me. Let me open this up too. We're going to shuffle the gorgeous and the beautiful unfolding path tarot. Spirit is showing me something like, you about to be, and not the Knight of Pentacles on the, but hold on, because we about to talk about it. Spirit, okay, our knights are either going on a mission, they've just started something out, especially the Knight of Pentacles, dang, it's perfect. This is a perfect example, because you'd be sitting at a table. Imagine you've had, excuse me, you've been writing your manifestations, doing your affirmations. You'd be like, yeah, I've been in my, you go to a big board meeting, you've been hoping for the opportunity, or you go to a brunch and y'all are going to talk about a beautiful co-collaborative teaching or artistic, whatever it is, right? So you about to go, you sitting at the table. It's beautiful. You're excited. Boom. Aries season. Oh my gosh, let's go. New timelines, right? But you're being such a terrible listener that perhaps the vessel, Spirit's bringing you, Saturn and Aries bringing you a beautiful new collaborative person to help you grow your seeds. Or perhaps it's going to be a brand new seed presented to you. It's going to take determination and willpower and long-term sustainable work, Knight of Pentacles, right? Okay, but imagine this. You done interrupted this person the whole time. But they were sent as the vessel to give you the opportunity, or to give you the spark of the creative muse that was supposed to ignite this whole new timeline. And you know how synchronicity and things unfold when you be on your fool's jumping and your magician wand waving. That's how it works. You never know what form the opportunity is going to come up. But let's say maybe you haven't healed a painful issue around not being heard, feeling unseen, right? That's a Venus, that's a heart chakra blockage, right? Because you're fighting. I'll exist in this space. Yes, you know what? Absolutely take up space, but you done interrupted this person at the table so long, they're going to say, I can't even give so-and-so the opportunity because they ain't even listen to what I got to say. I'm sitting here trying to partner with them. I'm trying to give them a great opportunity, a beautiful platform, a creative venture, a collaboration offer, an investment. But you've been interrupting them the whole time. You kind of get the picture that I'm painting? We gotta leave the Knight of Pentacles out on the table. Right? Okay, dang. Listen, we don't even have to shuffle the cards because look, you can't make this up. Oh, shit, for real. I know y'all see that. These are such beautiful cards too. Look at the Two of Pentacles. I'm hearing run all around here like a chicken with your head cut off. You know, sometimes when we're balancing these tricky energies, we have to remember that it's not always doing everything under the sun all the time that brings abundant opportunities. Yes, I know. Yes, we need to be disciplined. We need to be working really hard, for sure. But I don't know. There's a lack of balance. And we were just talking about that. Okay, counterbalancing. I'm hearing counterbalancing. For example, I know that I struggle with being a good listener in situations where I have a wound that I am not seeing, or I fear. Do you see that? Ooh, we already know that's a trigger point, because if we're in our mind, well, why do you keep interrupting the person at the business table or at the coffee brunch? Well, because I have a root lacking fear that I won't be seen, that I won't be heard. Okay, but we're trying to birth all new realities here, you understand? So you need harmony in that area where you're out of balance. And then sometimes what we do as well is, I'm so afraid. Ooh, fear. It's a big one. But for real, y'all, we didn't even have to shuffle. Like, you can't make this up. You see the Ace of Pentacles? This is one of my favorite Ace of Pentacles cards too. Damn, Knight of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, and the 10. Okay, but with the Three of Cups and the Eight of Wands, can you please, do you see what's lying under all of this though? There's that fear. Wow, it's just giving. Spirit wants to give you opportunities to network, to share joy and abundance. This could be a new soul family, soul tribe. This could be going out. Like I said, we're having brunch, sharing ideas, zoom, 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 creative muse, zipping all around the table. It's feeling good. Right? Okay, how do we want to do it? I'm working on my camera stand, y'all. I know I don't want to move her, though. Let me set this deck down, though. This deck always has really, really good energy, though, I will say. I'll take a moment to pause and look at my beautiful quartz owl. You know we love, that's my familiar here, okay? Or I'm put her over there. But yeah, this is giving someone brings you seeds to plant at the table. Okay, let's work together. Let's invest in one another. Okay, we're sitting at a table. We're in a group talking. And this could even be, you know what I'm getting? And this is, again, this is the Saturn card of building long-term wealth, building a legacy, building a project that goes way beyond you. But it all starts somewhere, right? And here we are sitting with Saturn in these new Aries timelines, but we're going to be triggered. And Saturn's almost going to say, partnering with North Node in Pisces, Jupiter and Cancer. Okay, you remember everything you've been working on. I know, honey, I know we ain't go through 29 and a half years of cycles. You got to work on that. You haven't even been listening this whole time. Two of Pentacles out of balance. You're running around. You're doing everything under the sun. We keep talking about doing that Virgo homework, South Node Virgo homework. Last full moon in the eclipse portal we just come out of. And that energy continues to ripple out. Mercury's still in post-shadow retrograde from being in Pisces. Okay, it really is giving, you've got to remember your lessons in maturity. Okay, because you don't want to choke out Ace of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles. This kind of gives that whole, where was I going with that? Oh, the whole, we were talking about quality, not quantity. Spirit could really want you locked in a beautiful space of divine flow and trust in the universe. You understand that you're an embodiment of the universe, and that, of course, you would want to bless yourself because you are the universe dancing in human form, you see? And it's this whole, I don't know, the trigger of being afraid of being unseen. Yep. The trigger of saying they're not going to hear me. Yep. Okay, but can you be willing to birth a new timeline here? You may be partnering with people, collaborating with people, or even, I get spirit guide energy too. I will just say Eight of Wands energy, messages being sent to you with a quickness. The Three of Cups has always given me like this Pleiadian soul family energy. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't the moon recently really close to the Pleiadian cluster? Anyway, I can't remember an exact date, but I think that was recently. This could even be like Spirit wants to drop this big creative muse energy into your lap too, so you can work with it, so you can sustain it, so you can grow these seeds. Shadow energy, though, in the Eight of Wands even. Remember, we saw the Nine of Swords beneath it can be, I am running around networking with everyone under the sun. I'm working based on fear that if I don't do 10 things, none of them will work out. It won't be enough. I'm hearing it's not going to be enough. That's fear getting you caught up in those dissolutions, okay? North Node in Pisces energy wants to help you work past that. You understand? You can actually launch. I'm seeing it's like launch past that timeline that was built in fear. I'm hearing maybe this is a message for someone. Everyone's not out to get you. You know what I'm saying? This can be, I'm getting this energy of like you and other, maybe your multidimensional self being very fruitful. You in other timelines, or perhaps in other timelines, past life energy too could be. And big catalyst energy like this, right, that brings us all of this over here. Oh my gosh, look at all these seeds. These seeds are already within your DNA as well. I'm getting off of Ten of Pentacles. That's like the DNA down to the core of the bones, your ancestors living within you, all of the things that you can achieve. Okay, it's coded in your DNA. Right? But it's to such a great extent that if we run around, okay, once again, honey, run around like a chicken with your head cut off, okay, we cannot be doing. Maybe we take a list of 10 things and we wean and whittle that down to 3 things, and we give it all of our attention. We get past that fear. We launch off those fear-based old karmic timelines, you know what I'm saying? We trust spirit to carry us. That's funny because I was making a reference to my wand with the Bic, and then we were talking about the Magician card back here. Big wand energy. Look, he's just riding those wands, okay? But that takes trust. I'm hearing a whole new world. Don't you dare close your eyes. They're floating on a carpet. You know how scary that would be? Now I'm getting that energy of like, is almost like if you don't have faith in the carpet floating every time it sinks. What am I hearing? Oh, like pixie dust. Where are we going with this, spirit? Like, oh, you have to believe. And it made the fairies and the pixies come back to life. The carpet, I don't know. Okay, now I'm seeing maybe this is a timeline metaphor. The carpet's not going to keep floating and rising if you're not amping it up with that faith. And you know, I'm hearing this energy of like a faith dust. What is it? Faith, trust, and pixie dust. And people be like, oh, whatever. That's something I said when I was like 7. I'm not a little girl anymore. That's ridiculous. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's based in fear. That's based in illusions. Okay? Getting a lot of anxiety off that card. And listen, I understand it. Oh my gosh. Friend, get into it with me because I have so much Aquarius in my chart. Woo, when I tell you I be struggling with anxiety, when I tell you, perhaps ever so gently we could, ooh, that's a little better. I'll take that. We can see at least a little better. The whole thing too, and then look, not under the owl. It's the 3 of Wands, y'all. There's opportunities that want you to rise to the occasion to meet them. Remember how we talked about the Venus energy was going to bring triggers of bitterness and resentment and fear up? You see that though? But it's because we were saying you got to be able to launch up and jump up on. You got to do that fool's jump on to a different timeline. That means you got to trust people. You got to try something, okay? But there's also a blend, like I said, of don't be out there doing too much. Sometimes we do too much, and it also can, when you're working with energy, manifestation, law of attraction, all these things, right? Perceiving your own reality, co-creation, and we be into all of that over here, okay? Listen, I know there's a lot of pentacles on the table, so that does indicate Saturnian, earth-based energy, you know, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, you know, and Uranus and Taurus right now too. Ooh. So I know I'm not saying we don't have to work hard. Of course we do. That's the way the density of this, how your little avatar body works in this earth school. You get what I'm saying? But sometimes you can just be doing way too much, and you send a reverse signal out to the energy in the universe saying, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Looks like you think you are controlling everything. Oh, you got it. Oh, okay. You must not need us much then, says your spirit team and ancestors and guides. A lot of ancestral energy on the table with the Ten of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. You have to sometimes let the universe be doing the universing. You know what I'm saying? That requires trust. That requires saying, and two, I get this energy, Knight of Pentacles on the table, building up to a 10. We've got Ace potential. You know, okay, what is it? Spirit is showing me, what is it? Spirit is showing me like you don't plant a bunch of seeds. And then you just be leaning over those seeds, staring those seeds down, like, oh, and then doing 45 million things over the seeds and just being like, grow. You know what I mean? It's not going to work out very well. I mean, you can try it. Yeah. So there's that to be said, but also there's this message of like, when you planting some seeds is with your health, your patterns, you know, it takes so much time to reprogram your mind, your decisions or your portals, but we have to go day by day. Okay. Yes. The experience of what it means to be human, our gifts, how fluid and plasmic like Pluto and Aquarius is going to be having the energies out here. But it still is this earth school, and to a level it will be dense. You do have to work hard. Yes, you got to be studious. You got to have a good plan that has long-term sustainability, but there's also trust involved, okay? Be open to mingling with new people. Be open to, you know, 3 of Wands, 8 of Wands energy is like, you got to ride the wave a little bit. There's some whimsy out here. There's some, let me take a new path, 3 of Wands, 8 of Wands. Spirit's going to meet me with some new energy. There's a lot of trust. Okay, but again, also with all the pentacles I am getting, let's say, okay, cool. I do feel like I'm in alignment. I absolutely do feel the vibe. You know, I got my faith and hope and pixie dust and all that good stuff. Yes, let's do this thing. Now, if you feel good about that, you've got to be able to kind of plant the seeds, set some diligent good plans in action, and then you just go about establishing that new daily routine and trust. Okay, it's not going to go busting open overnight. We're not going to get to the 10 of Pentacles. And I will tell you, and this is just based on life and my own experience, and y'all know I'll be out here fools jumping, Indiana Jones, ducking and weaving with the best of them. I love to do it. Hello, Aquarius, Leo energy, Aries and Mars. I'll duck and jump and float on a magic carpet with anybody. You just say, where are we going? But the thing about it too is, let's say you're doing a new business or a collaborative creative goal, new career, even a new health journey. But I am going to lean more into like the tangible stuff, like, okay, I'm manifesting a business, or I'm going to buy a piece of, or I'm going to invest, or whatever the case may be, right? Something that falls into your lap immediately looking like the 10 of Pentacles, I know you better ask some questions. Sometimes it is good for you, how do we say, Spirit, I'm just channeling here. Sometimes it is good for you to work through different layers and levels because there are lessons there that you need to obtain. It's much like collecting things. Spirit is showing me, shout out to my gamers out there, right? Like HP. You can't even be getting to level 35 because you haven't unlocked enough checkpoints yet. The stuff going on at level 35, you wouldn't be able to sustain it. And then what you look like being a level 20, jumping up to 35 so fast because you thought you knew what was best. Now you're looking crazy out in level 35 and you look like a green little fish to a bunch of sharks. Have you ever understood how that works? There's a reason that you go through cycles. There's a reason you learn new routines. You learn emotional maturity, long-term sustainability. There is an element of Saturn going to be in Aries like, hey now, I know you a real good sprinter. Trust me, we wouldn't be giving you all these aces and all these pentacles right here. We wouldn't be sending you out on these new ships to sail over here, 3 of Wands, if we didn't know that about you, right? This is you with your spirit team and your higher self. Okay, but some shit, you just got to let it unfold. You know what I mean? That's like being, okay, good reference point. That's like getting in a new relationship and thinking you know somebody in 3 months. Child, I know you already know. You might be hopping out gung-ho into a new collaborative venture, and maybe that collaborative venture, for example, or that business model or that creative tool, it's like painting a picture. This shit is layering. It's layering. Maybe you just connected with those people for a time to help you deal with your fear around rejection. And then you were going to be launched to a different place where you learned how to connect with new people. Or I sent you over here. You see how the layers work? Because you kind of have to collect things. That's the whole point of that. Hey, a lot of what you're doing is for the sake of this journey because you're learning things, okay? I'm not going to deny with all of these pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, even 10 of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles on the table today, that there is material gifts that want to come into potentiality, especially with the 3 of Wands and the 8 of Wands. Okay, so by all means, believe in the beautiful positivity of the outcomes that you want. Do that. But make sure things are built on very strong foundations, right? You got to learn how to prioritize your time to run a successful business. You turn around and be manifesting hella business, and then 6 months down the road, you have so many clients, you don't even know what to do with them. Do you know what I mean? Or you're so green that it's not time for you to be on level 30 type moves yet because the sharks are going to eat you up. These are the things we don't think about, right? Spirit is drawing me back to 2 of Pentacles, though, because right now, post-shadow Mercury retrograde, right? We just launched into these beautiful springtime energies, okay? Let's make sure that we always talk about over here 80-20. The 80%, the day-to-day, the new routines, get in the habit of making certain decisions and choices. For example, you don't want to build a business and then boom, or a collaborative venture or start a group or whatever it is, go to a new career, and then everything is going so fast, it's too much all at once, and then your mental health declines. And then here you go, you're making terrible choices with your body, and you're like, damn, I just went on like... excuse me, I just went on like a 2-year journey and I did X, Y, and Z and my health was great. And I had this meditator. I felt so great. And then I jumped into this opportunity and everything declined because I wasn't in balance. You see what we're talking about here? I'm telling you, this deck hits every time. Okay, now I don't know how in the world we done been talking 50 minutes, but I mean, what is time? It's always like that. It's a really beautiful energy, though. I'm telling you, beautiful cards on the table. Let's get a Seasons of the Witch Ostara Oracle to close this message. Look at that. Gorgeous. We love the Seasons of the Witch Ostara Oracle. And I will always say, you don't have to identify, oh, I'm very pagan, I'm a witch, whatever. By the way, witch, study that term. It just means wise woman. You don't have to even be, it's not about gender. It's about wisdom and working with nature. Maybe you're the type of person that says, you know, like nature is my church or nature is my temple. I love these oracles because they flow with the seasonal sabbatical living through the wheel of the year. And that can be used in any, like whatever you connect with as your higher guides or your higher self, right? So I will always go on about these decks because they're just so great. Okay, spirit, ancestors, and team, always in service of the highest and best good. What else can we add to this beautiful message? This beautiful message. Ooh, I'm telling you, look at all these seeds. Man, I'm telling you, don't go getting super overhyped and then you just be squashing all your seed growth. You can be in the beauty of the moment. You know what I mean? I've had... in the ground gardens. I come from families who had lots of gardens. I've had potted plant gardens. I've grown lots of things. Don't miss the beauty of like, wow, it's just sprouting. Wow, look at the little buds popping up. Don't miss that. Because I've been seasons in life, and whether it's in a corporate world or whether it's in my own business or having a big boom and getting a lot of new clients or like just launching this school has been beautiful. It's a wonderful launch. Before you know it, 2 years, 5 years, boom, everything is so busy. It's very crazy. And while you do have a lot of that material sustenance that you wanted to call in as a form of abundance, it's going to be a lot to manage. You got to kind of learn how to be present and enjoy what you have in each given cycle. You know what I'm saying? You don't want. It's not healthy and sustainable to be having a whole ass bed full of plants. You don't even know what to do. I can't even prune this stuff. What is it? One year, what was it, y'all? Oh, my beautiful, lovely friend who lives up on the mountain had gifted me these peppers. When I tell you, woo, until you have put greens, plants, peppers, cucumber, whatever, into your plate and your salad, you know what I'm talking about. Right out, fresh out the ground, organic, heirloom type shit. You had never even tasted a vegetable. So I'm telling you, these peppers were hitting, okay? They were good. I was chopping them up. But I got so many peppers. Or have you ever had a plant? What's another one? Oh, cucumbers would be another one. You know, everybody's talking about, you need some cucumbers. Are you pickling cucumber? You doing everything under the sun. You want your growth to be sustainable, okay? So pay attention to the lessons in spiritual alignment. Pay attention to the lessons that you're learning right now. Do that counterbalancing work, okay? Because they ain't no part of your whole self. Okay, what is spirit? What? Hold on. Spirit is showing me chopping off your arm. No, it's not gory. Hold on, because I think I can kind of see where we're going. Why would you want a business or a blessing, a boon of any kind that required you to like sacrifice one of whole parts of your body, a whole part of yourself? That's out of alignment. That's being almost, can we say it, overly greedy? We don't want to be like that. But sometimes when we manifest out of fear and anxiety and a lack mindset, we might not like what happens. We might not like what happens. What they say, more money and more problems out here. Y'all, my gods are funny. Okay, listen. We tap into all kind of spirit team over here. Anyway, listen. I do love all the growth, though. I do love all the opportunities. I do love that we can see that we've been working hard to get these opportunities for growth, whatever that looks like in your life, okay? So let's get an oracle. Whoa. Okay, it's perfect. That was like 4 cards, but I'm just going to take the one that flew right out on the top, y'all. Look, this one I'm saying you can't make it up. Floromancy, okay? Us talking about growing different types of gardens and all this growth. It's perfect. It's time to escape all the noise and become still with the guidance that is pulling you inward. Yes. Yes. Ooh, it's so perfect. I hate to cover up Peachy, but let's read Floromancy together, number 14. Together, okay? Here we go. Floromancy says, what signs are there? Following intuition, letting spirit guide you. Hello, Jupiter in Cancer, North Node in Pisces. Don't you get out these gates running, ripping around crazy, forgetting that spirit is guiding you. And you have to flow a certain way to be able to vibe like that, okay? Have you ever pulled flower petals while saying, they love me not? Ooh. Okay, where are we going with this? The relationship dynamic here, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, this is a form of floromancy, something many of us have spent countless hours doing in our youth. While it may have seemed like a silly schoolyard game, it was actually your soul pushing you to let spirit guide you, and receiving this card as your soul, again calling you to listen to your intuition. You may have depended too much on external forces to offer you the answers that are already residing in your consciousness. It's time for you to realign with your magic and trust that you know what the right call is for your situation. Think about your first thought or feelings about someone or something. Did you notice anything like a shape, a color, a word, or a symbol? Maybe you're journaling these things. I always encourage in a journaling practice, write these things down, because it takes time as we break out of these frequency fences and we start to do this ascension or this personal evolution journey. We're opening up to our gifts. You got to kind of learn to partner with your higher self and your spirit team and your multidimensional self. And then it takes time, like any new habit, right? Write down the birds you see. Write down the plant spirits that resonate with you. Learn. When you hear that zing, we kind of call it that ping, you feel that woo, 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 or that small inner voice, right? Listen to that. take time to partner with it. So sometimes when we write in a journal, okay, yeah, cool. I saw the butterfly like 5 times today, and I saw like 4 cardinal birds. Let's learn about what that means and make connections, because that's the organic grid speaking to you in real time. And the more that you affirm that back to yourself, you strengthen that connection like a muscle. Okay, I always teach that in one-on-one work and teaching classes and whatnot, okay? Strengthen that muscle. Okay, it may have felt silly at the time, just like the innocent days of pulling flower petals, but allow yourself to reflect on the signs you've collected, and in doing so, cultivate a sense of inner knowing. Okay, because let me put you on game. Do you know the Muffin Man? I don't know, I heard that. Listen, just stay with me. Do you know that high, exalted, world leader conquering level kings, you know they consulted with people who did all the Floromancy, who read all the things, who tossed all the bones and threw the runes. You know how sacred they were held up? Yeah, I know, right? But they always had their, their adversaries, okay? Yeah. You know they did. As a matter of fact, that's why we ain't allowed to talk about it now, because that's how powerful it is, okay? So don't get it twisted. It is very much not silly. They would very much love for you to shh. Oh, that's so silly. No one believes in that. Sit back down into your frequency fence, and don't you go getting powerful. Don't you go co-creating now, because you're going to mess the whole grid up. And that's what's happening. That's why these old timelines are dying. But, you know, just my little, let me get off my soapbox, okay? The most straightforward guidance for this card is to dance among the flowers, listening for the answers in nature. You know, that's how I create things. I look at what's blooming around me. Yeah, isn't that crazy? For example, right now I'm about to be going and harvesting wisteria because it's the season for that. And sometimes I'll just make these whimsical candles where I just go out and grab what speaks to me. Child, I ain't even going to tell you. I'm kind of to a point now where I know what a lot of it is, but sometimes I don't. But it looks so pretty, and it's zinging, and it's, you know, the hills are alive. And I'm collecting stuff. I come home and let it dry out, and I learn about it, and I'll be like, wow. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's beautiful. And you can work with plant spirits. Don't even get me started about dandelion. There's so much available right where you are. That's a very magician type energy to connect to. Okay, dance among the flowers, listening for the answers in nature. Mother Earth is always whispering to you, offering her advice and support. You might hear something on the wind. Look up and see a butterfly. Not the butterfly. Look up and see a butterfly dancing in the sun, or walk along a path with a flower that you just happen to know corresponds with your situation. Beautiful. Okay. It says guidance ritual. This ritual is perfect for moments when you feel stuck or simply want to check in with yourself on a decision or a concern you have. In a quiet place, place a mirror. Yo, is the mirror again? Hold on, y'all. Give me 2 seconds because I think someone's about to knock. Hold on, 2 seconds. I'm going to pause you. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. I was trying to divert the crazy dog barking. Okay, let's finish, though. Another thing about these books is there's lots of little tidbits in here, rituals, suggestions, things you can make and do. Love that if you're into that, right? But look, it's the mirror. Y'all, I'm telling you. In a quiet place, place a mirror in front of you, or stand or sit in front of a mirror. Light a white candle. Take a deep breath and repeat twice more. Bring your hands together in front of you, and with your hands cupped, quickly clap 20 times. That's clearing the energy, right? Hold your hands slightly apart. Well, this is also raising a pocket of energetic frequency. Hold your hands slightly apart with the palms facing each other, and allow the energy ball between them to vibrate for a moment. Move your hands towards the mirror. Oh, energy ball work. You guys, have you done that? We used to do this back in my apprenticeship back in the day. And then you would learn how to like project colors and visualize colors or symbols in the ball. Oh, we channel the magician now, for real? Okay, I see it. And then you can like direct it into candles or onto your vision board or say affirmations and speak it in. Yeah, let's get into it, okay? Hold your hands slightly apart with the palms facing each other. See, and now there's that energy again of somebody being like, I did that when I was a kid. Okay, first of all, go on then. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. But don't be squashing other people's personal magic. What do you think you're doing when you exercise, right? Like, what do you think you're doing when you think, you're pushing energy into your work day the same? You're pushing energy into literally pushing something. It's the same thing. We even have, because of the way that technology is so advanced now, we even have these machines. We have these ways of actually studying that you do have a toroidal space around you, and magnetic force field is real, and heat and things are all forms of energy. So go on now. Because you're going to be the same person going to tell me that I can't make energy balls, and that's silly. And yet you're going to go lay in a body scanning device that is made up with crystals that direct frequency waves so you can see your internal organs. Oh, okay, but we don't, right. Okay. Anyways, friends. Hold your hands slightly apart with the palms facing each other and allow the energy ball between them to vibrate for a moment. Move your hands towards the mirror and push that energy into the mirror. If you have trouble feeling the energy ball, envision it, there you go, as a bright white ball of light. Honey, what you think Wi-Fi okay, look, I digress. Turn to the candle and whisper your question 3 times, then face the mirror. Take 3 deep breaths and close your eyes. Be still and pay attention to any words, messages, symbols, colors, and so on. Reflect on what comes through, and when you're ready, blow out the candle to close. Yes. That's that 3 of Wands level vision work right there, I'm telling you. Okay, friends, I love everything about this message. I'm so happy to hang out and spend time with you guys today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do some magic and don't let nobody rain on your parade, okay? Just because somebody else's cereal bowl got peed into doesn't mean that you can't go looking for butterflies and synchronicity. Because here's the thing, whatever you look for and project, that's what you're going to get. So why wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? All right. I love you, my friends. Stay grounded. Go get outside, get some sunshine. I look forward to talking to you soon. Okay, until then, take good care. Bye.